What's going on, guys? This is Chandler Smith, and the last month has been insane. For those of you new to the channel, I love investing in real estate, and I started this channel probably about a year and a half ago, and things have gone really nuts the last month. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, I posted exactly 1 month ago that I had just hit 25,000 subscribers. I posted a video about my good friend Meet Kevin that exploded. It got 100,000 views, but what happened next was just mind-blowing. I ended up seeing that TheStradman was selling his 2020 C8 Corvette, and I said, I've got to have it. So I reached out to him. I ended up buying the car, and getting onto his channel. Now, because of all of this craziness, I know we've got a ton of new people on the channel, and to you, I want to say thank you, and I'm excited to show you kind of where I came from and how I've been able to make millions of dollars in my 20s. All that I ask you to do is make sure to remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, the next thing I wanted to do, and I feel like it was only fitting, is to introduce you to my cars. First off, this is my Model 3. She goes by Tesla. Creative, I know. The next one over here is my Ford Raptor. She goes by Mona, and she is a beast. Love her to death. And then finally, a lot of you came over to the channel for this third car. I can probably understand why, but it is the C8 Corvette that I just bought from TheStradman. Now guys, the only issue I'm having with this new car is it doesn't have a name yet. I mean, I've got Mona, I've got Tesla, but the C8 needs a name. So in the comments, please let me know what I should name the C8. I really need your help, and I promise you, I will pick the best name that's in the comments. Just make sure you push that like button to help the algorithm push your comment to the top. Now, I have to shout out Stradman. Thank you so much for letting me buy this car from you. It's absolutely incredible, other than the ticking in the front that I still have to get figured out. If I can't fix it, so help me. And the last car I want to introduce you to, I'm not super proud of. It's Lexus over here. It's my wife's car. I think we should sell it, but my wife thinks she needs a car to drive around. I don't understand why she's so high maintenance and thinks she needs a car. Now, if you didn't pick up on it, that's definitely a joke. Don't want to be in trouble with my wife. She's awesome, and she's very patient with the fact that she has one and I have three. The cars are cool, they're fun, they're exciting, but the thing that I wanted you to know is there's a lot more to the story, and I wanted to be able to tell it to you because I have a rule where I only buy fun stuff if my passive income provided by my real estate investments can pay for it. And it's taken quite a while to get here, but I wanted to share the story with you. So with all of that being said, we're gonna take a little spin, and I'm gonna share with you how everything came about. Oh man, that's good. It has been really fun to buy cars and do fun things. However, that wasn't really my focus originally. My focus was to just be smart with money and create a passive income that can provide for my family. And once I got past that, then the cars started to look fun. But originally I didn't have that many goals to do this. I also hope that these videos don't come off as arrogant or over the top, because it's been super fun. Like, these cars are a blast, and I think for a lot of people, those are the motivation that they need to take the next step. And if that's how you are, that's awesome. I just hope you guys are cool with me sharing it because they are fun. I think people want to see them, but I also don't want to be over the top with things. The first place that we're gonna head to is the house where I was raised, and it's got a story behind it, so just hang with me. All right, guys, I gotta deliver a package really quick, and I always used to think that nice cars parked terribly because they were douchebags, but the truth is, it's really scary to park a nice car next to the curb or too far up. So I swear, I'm not that guy, but I am. Now, the first thing you need to know is my parents are total ballers. My dad had actually just finished law school, and he was in a situation where he started out at a new law firm and was just busting his butt and bought our family this house. Now, my dad's dad, or my grandpa, was a carpenter, and so he was really good at doing work around the house, and my family decided we were gonna flip that house. That meant that every day of my life, when my dad got home from work, was spent doing some kind of project around the house, which was always a blast, and I learned a ton. My dad is the best of the best. He always put family first, but he was able to turn into a total baller lawyer and a baller when it came to flipping properties, because he renovated this place, and believe it or not, now almost 20 years later, it still has the same paint he put on it, and it looks a lot worse than when he left it. However, it looks a lot better than it did before he got it. Now, after that, we went into this house. Now, as you can see, this house is pretty freaking sweet, all right? He modernized the whole thing, and I'll show some pictures here above, but before, this house looked like total trash, and my dad renovated the entire place, and I got to help with a lot of that process, and so I really fell in love with property. Now, that place now doesn't even look close to as good as it did when my parents sold it, and they sold it for a premium, but that was just another thing in my life that got me obsessed with real estate. So I started mowing lawns when I was about 8 years old, and what that meant is my dad was coming and helping me through each of these lawns. So you've got a practicing lawyer that's kicking trash that takes time at the end of the day to come help his son mow lawns to understand entrepreneurship. Is that the word? Entrepreneurship. There you go. This was a total game changer for my life because my dad focused so much on not only spending time with me, but helping me understand how important hard work was. And I realized really quick that I could make a ton more money mowing lawns than I could doing anything else. This one, this one, this one, this one, and that flower bed sucks to clean. This one, which actually has been renovated, that one, this one, and this one. And that lady mowing her lawn meant cleaning her gutters every freaking time, and you didn't get paid extra. This one, that's my parents' place. It doesn't look as good as it used to, but it still looks pretty dang good with the work that my dad did. We did this one, that one, that one, that one, the one at the end of the street, the one on the corner, and the one across the street from the corner. This one, and this one occasionally. Now, the way that I'd land these lawns is I'd go and I'd knock on their door and I'd say, hey, I want to mow your lawn. And they'd say, oh, that's okay. We've already got somebody, or we do it on our own. And I'd say, no, that's okay. I just want to mow it for free. And if you think I do a better job, then you can pay me. And a good percentage of the time, that would actually work for me. I found out very quickly that dropping the neighbors' names and saying they were using you was extremely advantageous, especially if your parents were the neighbors. So after mowing lawns through high school, playing sports, living the dream, I got to the point where I decided I wanted to serve a mission for my church. I went out and spent 2 years in Winnipeg, Canada, sharing a message about Christ and doing service for people. And honestly, it was incredible in a lot of ways. But I got really good at talking with people, connecting with them, cold calling, knocking their doors, and I just spent that much more time in my life meeting people I didn't know and presenting something to them. And this message meant a lot to me, but it also taught me a very valuable skill set and helped me to fine-tune that skill set. Now, when I got back from my mission, I went to college because that's what most people do, and that's what I wanted to do, at least I thought. Now, when I showed up, I knew I needed a job, and for some reason, I didn't want to go the lawn mowing approach. I thought, hey, I'm an adult now, I should go get a normal job. So I went and applied at like 20 different places, one of them being McDonald's. And guess what? I didn't get a job. Literally no one would hire me. So I started looking elsewhere, and I found a friend that offered me an opportunity to go knock doors and sell pest control over the summer. Now, he told me the average guy could make over $20,000 in a 4-month period, and I said, hey, sign me up. So I went out, I started knocking doors, and turns out years before I had been perfecting this art of knocking doors. And so when I got out there, I fell in love. Now, it was a slow start at the beginning for sure. I actually sucked early on. It took a while for things to really click, but then all of that practice of the years before kind of clicked in, and I went ham. I ended up selling 459 pest control accounts that were each valued about $500 because they were year-long contracts, and I ended up making $96,000 in the course of one summer. Now, at this point, I was in college. I was hoping for 20 grand, so 96 grand absolutely floored me, and I fell in love with selling pest control. The next year, I brought a team out, and I managed them. I ended up making $140,000, and by the third year, I was just shy of $250,000 in earnings. Now, this was the point where I decided, hey, I've got to find a place for this money. I was still living super frugally, and I was doing more fun stuff. I was traveling a little bit, but it was definitely a point in my life where I said, all right, it's time to do something. All right, dude, you want to go? Now, this was the point in my life where I realized I was definitely onto something. This pest control thing was incredible. I was making tons of money, and I decided I really needed to find a good place to put it. Now, I had a friend whose dad had made a ton of money investing in real estate. And one day we were over at his house and I said, hey, I've got all this money. Should I invest in the stock market, in real estate? What exactly should I do with it? And he sat me down and drew this diagram that I'll never forget, where he drew up 4 houses and showed me how I should use leverage to be able to purchase real estate because I could get huge returns. Now, this blew my mind, it got me hyped, and I decided I was all in. So I started with a condo. Purchased a condo. It was actually a bad investment, and I remember going back to my buddy's dad and he's like, oh, that's a subpar investment, man. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep going. And once I had made that investment, I was floored because it was so fun to get a check coming in every single month from tenants, even though my return was a little bit subpar. So then I bought a duplex and another duplex and a 4-plex and an 8-plex and a bunch more duplexes and 4-plexes and more 4-plexes. And then I got a 24-plex and a 32-plex. And before I knew it, I was making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just in cash flow from investing in real estate. And what I decided early on is that I wanted to live according to the rich dad, poor dad principle. And if you haven't read the book, you need to. It's not gonna teach you a lot about how to invest in real estate. However, it will teach you a principle that I think is crucial for finding long-term success. And that principle is that you should only live off of what your passive income is making you. So I was making a ton of money doing door-to-door sales. As a matter of fact, I still do it today, and my region just last year did over $10 million in sales. And so my revenue and my income has increased every year doing this job. However, I've made a goal to only spend that money on real estate or other investments that can pay me a passive income. And then I only use my passive income to do the fun stuff in my living expenses. So my travel, my cars, my house, all of those things are only paid for with my passive income. What that did is it forced me to live a lot more frugally early on. So me and my wife, after we got married, at this point I had sold for 4 years. I mean, I had made, heck, at that point, probably $750,000 or at least close to that. And yet we were living in an apartment that cost us $750 a month, and we went to the DI to get our furniture. Now that seems extreme, and looking back, it probably was, and maybe a little stupid, but living within the income created from our passive income helped me to stay in a place where I never overspent, and all of my income from my job was going straight into real estate. And because I did that, it was very easy to explode my real estate portfolio really quickly. All right, guys, I'm gonna be honest. That was my first car wash, and I wanted to do it for this video, but I was very stressed the whole time because this is a very nice car, and I was hoping that the car wash wouldn't ruin something. So now we're going through the vents. I think we're in the clear. We're gonna see. So that's kind of my story, and I think the 2 biggest principles that have taken me the furthest is, first of all, only live off of your passive income. Second off, your active income should be something involving commission, or the fact that the more work you put in, the more you get out. Because if you're on an hourly wage at $15 an hour, I'm sorry, you're never gonna be able to buy any real estate or create any kind of passive income. Now, you can flip properties on someone else's dime or find lots of other creative ways, but you've got to find a job where you're not getting paid hourly, but you're getting paid according to what you do, and then you do stuff that pays you a lot. Now, I know that seems pretty straightforward, but that's the reality. You're not gonna get there on an hourly wage job, but if you can find a sales job or something else where you get paid a big profit for the deals that you put together, that's where you can build the kind of income required to be able to get into real estate. So if you want to see all the other deals I've done, you can click the link above. It'll take you to a playlist where I share every single property I've purchased. I share the ups, the downs, the things I've learned, the things that I wish I could take back, and how I was able to go from no property to now 99 units of rental real estate that pay for my dream lifestyle purely from passive income. And the best part about real estate, I only use my cash flow. That means I've still got principal pay down, appreciation, tax benefits, a ton of other upsides, and really another way to get a return on my money in the meantime while I'm spending my cash flow. And so with real estate, you can not only have a cash flow you can live off of, but you can put yourself in a place where it's a win-win-win, and you've got this future retirement pot to look at in the future, or something you can pull that equity out of those properties and capitalize on buying more properties and building your net worth along the way. So I'm really hoping these principles help you guys. They've helped me a ton to get where I'm at. And if you want to learn more, go check this link right here. Kind of helps you start where you need to start to know more about investing in real estate and starting down the process. And if you've got any questions, make sure you let me know in the comments. And remember, make sure to push the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys in the future videos. Thanks guys, have a great day.